So I've burned out a lot. Like several different times I just like hit a wall, and it's just like it's so hard to keep creating, especially while you're traveling. So it's not easy. It's not something that comes really easy to keep pushing forward. But I'm very self-motivated, and I sometimes turn to others who do what I do for advice, for feedback, and I recommend you to do that also. And collaborating with people, there are always new things that you can be trying. And sometimes whenever I hit a wall, it's because I'm kind of doing the same thing for so many days. So if you can figure out a way to break over that and maybe steer a different direction and make a story on something else and get feedback from people. But if you are feeling burned out, it's okay to take like a couple of days off or a couple of weeks off, depending on your posting schedule. But as you said earlier, because I'm always traveling, I'm always putting myself in these situations to have interesting experiences. So I know at the moment it's impossible to travel, especially in Hong Kong. I think that's maybe the hardest country in the world to leave, I'm guessing. But come later, 2021, 2022, you'd be able to get out there. And just by taking a few trips a year, you'll find that inspiration going somewhere. But I wouldn't stop, man. I would just keep posting and pivoting your content, as I said, to make different stories about different things and reaching out to people. These are things that I would recommend you to do.
For sure. And just another question I want to ask is like, how do you get yourself out there in terms of like, how do you kind of push your channel out there, and like, how do you grow? I mean, I don't think daily posting is a good idea, at least because I'm in college and everything, and
Right.
It's a busy schedule. But
Sure.
like, how would you kind of push yourself out there more and get noticed more and have people like your content more? And do you think it's like, if there's not a high viewership, do you think it's a bad reflection on the numbers, or like bad reflection on your content and like stuff like that, and treating it like a business basically?
I wouldn't get too focused on the numbers, especially up front. If you're starting out, it's really hard to get millions of views. But the number one thing you can do is focus on making good content. In my case, I try to make everything inspiring and educational. I pretty much don't post anything unless it's both inspiring and educational. And so when you focus on making good content in the long run, that will get shared by people. More people will tune in, they'll discover you. And once they discover one of your videos, they'll go back and be like, oh my God, there's like 50, 100, 300 other videos that I want to watch from this person. So it's definitely a long game. There's nothing, I started like 4.5 years ago making videos. So it's a very long process. Nothing will happen overnight, but focus on making compelling stories, and that's it. And then it will grow from there.